Actually, I think it's a compliment that someone will sample a record and find something from it. I'm not really one of those people that's against what the new generation of hip-hop is doing with sampling and stuff. It means that somebody liked and feels something from what you did before, just like a song cover. Yeah. It's a good thing.
So pretty much how I see it, it's kind of the divide. You have some that embrace sampling, you got some that's like, it kind of takes away the creativity of the business when you can just go and look at some 45s or some 33 and a thirds and just loop a part or take a drum line or a rhythm track and then boom, just add that, then plus your new stuff and make it brand new.
Yeah, I mean, I like all kinds of music, so I'm open to that art form. I do wish people were writing more original music in hip-hop and R&B. There are people that are doing that now, but it's not like it used to be. There was more musicality to me, in my opinion, in the late 70s and early 80s as far as soul music is concerned.
Now, why is it, in your opinion, that the level of quality in music has kind of deteriorated over the years and became pretty much like hit-driven, producer-driven, and image-conscious?
Well, they say that money can be the root of all evil, and maybe that also is a reflection of the crumbling of the music business, is that the honesty of people playing their instrument and write. If you look at all forms of music, unfortunately, black music seems to be the style of music that has been affected the worst in terms of no bands. We don't have the same kind of I mean, I'm not putting down the singers that are out there, but we don't have the Aretha Franklin, you gotta admit, the Chaka Khans, the Rufus, we don't have that diversity that we used to have. And actually, a lot of the new groups now are using this computer effects on their voice, so you don't even have to really be able to sing at all right now in black music because there's so much processing on your vocals. When people make money, they tend to, sometimes they sell their soul in a way. They don't continue their tradition of what they're doing because they're making money doing one thing and then they stay doing that style. A true artist follows their artistic feeling. They don't follow money. And I think that's what you see over time. I'm not just talking about last year, I'm talking over the past 20, 25 years. You see a slow deterioration of true artists. You don't have a lot of Prince kind of artists now. You know what I mean? Prince would put out a record every year or every 2 years. He would give you a new flavor of what he was feeling. You don't really have that now in our time. It's very much digital-driven, iTunes-driven, single-driven. I mean, actually, I just put out my record on iTunes, and I'm really excited about it. It took me like 4 years to put all the songs together, but it was a process for me, just putting all my feelings together over time and putting it out. Now, that's one of the great things about digital, is that we don't have to have a record company dictating to us what style or what we should do. But also, if you're not signed to a major label, you don't get the marketing that a Rihanna would get or, Kelly Clarkson. I'm not getting that kind of marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So pretty much it's kind of like a gift and a curse. And also, if somebody were to speak their mind against the labels and say, okay, you telling me you want me to do this, but I want to do this, and they feel like, oh, and if you're brand new, they're definitely gonna look at you like, oh, you trying to come to us and tell us what you're gonna make? No, we're the ones that's putting the money behind you, so you're gonna make what we tell you to. And the artist kind of feels trapped in a corner because you want to go with your heart, but then again, label got the money, and we all know that money talks.
That particular battle always existed. As long as you were hired, you're at the mercy of somebody saying, listen, this is our money, we need to have a hit record. That even existed back then. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So it was pretty much always there. And also, too, it was like right around 87, 88 when Teddy Riley came in the game and ushered New Jack Swing, which meshed R&B with the young, fresh beats of hip-hop. And we seen a lot of urban contemporary acts during that period hop on board and get a youthful edge through Teddy Riley and through New Jack Swing. So what was your opinion on that?
It wasn't a youthful edge, it was a new sound. Because, anybody, any age group can do any style. But I would say it was more of a new sound because of the drum machine he was using. Like I said, I like all kinds of music. Every time period of music has great music. My disappointment is that in black music, we have lost, because of the way the business is run, the collective union of a bunch of people together, playing together. The magic of Good Times, the magic of That's the Way of the World, the magic of the Isley Brothers. We can go on and on. The magic of Cameo as a band, the early Cameo records. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely relate to the Cameo records because by me being from that area, my mother used to tell me that every summer people would go up on either Edwards Beach or Sykes Lake and would play the latest Cameo record on their car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Cameo was like a, 12, 13-piece band. I was like in heaven when I used to watch them as a kid.
So pretty much everybody was kind of watching each other. And what was the tour atmosphere like? Because I know you guys probably crossed paths on various tours, like, you know, the Budweiser Superfest, and the list goes on and on.
The touring, to be honest with you, my memory about touring is we didn't tour a lot like a lot of other bands. You know, we did go to Chicago and LA, we did Soul Train, you know, we toured the East Coast, Florida, New York, but we weren't touring like, you know, maybe that was a blessing in a way because we weren't really worn out in that way. But at the same time, that also meant that we didn't have a record that was in that. I mean, Sugar Free was a hit. That was probably the only single that was where people were requesting us at that time. I remember that. So it also meant that your record wasn't as successful as you wanted it to be if you weren't touring.
And also, too, back during that period of the late 70s and 80s, and of course it still goes on now, but discreetly, that nasty little P word, payola, because I was reading in this book which explained the intricacies of the music business, that labels hired indie promoters to go to radio stations and try to get their stuff played, and of course they would entice MDs and PDs with gifts and including various illegal things, if you catch my drift.
Yep.
The question is, how are you guys able to like stay as you are in a business where it's pretty much cutthroat and pretty much kind of like no sympathy?
That could happen in corporate America too. It could happen. Everything that you're describing could be in any kind of business where there's money.
So anywhere where there's money, you got greed.
Yeah, anywhere. I mean, you got corruption, greed, anywhere. It could be in government, the church. It could be TV. It could be movies. You know, it's just the nature of people trying to control something.
And now, how do you feel about the current state of the industry with record sales not selling like they used to, and then of course with the explosion of the internet and YouTube, and gone are the days through digital of going to LA or New York to shop your demo or to pass your demo tape along to somebody that got label connections in one of those two areas?